What's up, you guys? It's Dave here, aka the Real Estate Doctor. So one of the first questions I always get asked is, Dave, how do I get started buying my first home? And that's a great question because buying a home can be both exciting and stressful. Well, today I'm going to walk you through the home buying process from A to Z. This includes the secret step 0, smashing the like button. And seriously, guys, it only takes a second. It really helps my channel out, so please light that button up. Okay, now let's move on to step number 1, which is finding yourself a great realtor. And seriously, guys, I can't stress this one out enough. Who you work with matters. Who you choose will have a great impact on all the steps moving forward. A good realtor is going to be able to walk you through each one of these steps and make you feel as comfortable as possible throughout the whole process. They also tend to work with people who are really great at their jobs as well, so their recommendations can help you out tremendously. I'll probably do a video later on explaining what makes a good realtor, but in the meantime, read reviews, ask around, and look at their social medias to see if they're a good fit for you. Now, once you've selected your great realtor, preferably somebody handsome, funny, with a beard, a YouTube channel, maybe a doctorate degree, it's time for step number 2. And step number 2 is to get pre-approved for your first home. Many people don't want to do this because they don't want to affect their credit. Well, this hard increase only realistically going to set you back a couple of points. You'll also have about 30 days to go ahead and shop other rates without hurting your credit further. And you're not even going to be able to make an offer without having this done first. And if you did step number 1 right, you'll be recommended to an amazing lender who will give you an amazing rate anyway. Yes, I know, Zillow's telling you that your mortgage is going to be a few $100s less than your rent, so you know you could afford it. Zillow's not taking into account your credit score, your debt to income ratio, or your student loan. So bottom line, you might qualify for less or even more than you thought you were going to. And depending on what you qualify for, we'll be able to determine what kind of homes you could see and purchase. And once you've gotten your pre-approval done, it's time for everyone's favorite step, step number 3. Let's go find your dream home. Now, you're going to want to schedule a call or a meeting with your realtor. And here you'll go over what your ideal home will look like. Personally, I separate these into 4 categories: your must-haves, your wants, your bonuses, and your deal breakers. And by breaking them down this way, you'll be able to tell your realtor exactly what you're looking for, and you'll be able to see homes that only fit your criteria. Then we'll go out and make appointments and go see all those different homes that you like. And once you find the home you love, it's time for step number 4, making an offer. During this time, you and your realtor are going to decide what the best offer for you to make is. And a good realtor is going to be able to help your offer stand out amongst the crowd, so be sure to ask them how to make it more presentable. Also, bonus note, because this happens regardless of budget, the offer you make also serves as the initial contract for the property. And it looks something like this. Yes, it is very scary to sign this, especially with such big numbers. Don't stress out. At this point, it's just an offer. This initial contract just explains the terms of the deal to the selling party. Your realtor is going to be with you every step of the way, so please ask all the questions you want. Don't get anxious. Buying a home should be fun and exciting. And now, if everything went right, it's time for that call you've been waiting for. Congratulations, your offer has been accepted. The seller's going to go ahead and countersign everything that's on that contract and send it over to their attorney. You're also going to have an attorney representing you. So now it's time for step number 6, attorney review. Also, at this point, you're going to want to call your mortgage company to get the ball rolling on your paperwork. In New Jersey, attorney review is a 3-day process, but this could be more or less depending on your deal. During this process, your attorney is going to alter and negotiate some of the processes written in that offer that we submitted. This includes anything to do with the deal. Some examples might be when your expected closing date is going to be, your mortgage commitment due date, and who's going to hold your deposit. You and your attorney are going to discuss all these details in length. And once everything's decided on, we go under contract, where your offer becomes firm. At this point, your attorney should be able to provide you with a list of timelines and deadlines for you to meet. And one of these deadlines is step number 7, your inspection. At this point, your realtor should be able to suggest some inspectors for you and help you file what's called an OPRA request. An OPRA request will be able to show you any open or active permits on the property. And if the seller doesn't close them, they become your problem. So submit that request as soon as you go under contract. Most inspectors are going to have a team of people that they work with, and you'll be able to select a package based on what kind of property you're buying. Once you hire one, they'll come out to the property and they'll look for anything wrong. And I mean anything. Yep, once they're done, they're going to send you a list several pages long. And it's at this point that most first-time home buyers think that the house will not even survive another winter. Don't be scared. Inspectors need to put everything on there for liability purposes. Once this list comes out, speak with your realtor and attorney. They'll be able to guide you through all the big points. At this point, another little negotiation starts. This is where you're going to try to get some of those items fixed or get some credit towards fixing them later. And once that process is over, it's time for step number 8. The appraisal. Your mortgage lender is going to be giving you a loan to buy your property. And before they say, here Dave, take $350K to buy that new house, they want to make sure it's worth it. So they send out an appraiser to come take some photos and evaluate how much that property is really worth. Now at this point, if your property under appraises, meaning that the bank feels it's not worth what you're paying for it, You'll have a couple options based on what you decided in an attorney review. Also, if your property overappraises, that's a good thing. Some people get scared that they're going to have to pay more for the house. But simply put, it just means you have some equity in your home. For the purposes of keeping this video short, let's assume that the home appraised. It's now time for step number 9, your mortgage commitment and your title search. A title search is going to be able to show you the legal owner of the home and tell you if there's any liens or debts on the property. And if you listen to me throughout this video, you'll have already been in touch with your lender since your offer was accepted. You'll have been providing them with all the kinds of paperwork they've been asking you for, like your W-2s and your pay stubs. They'll also at this point be asking you to get a home insurance policy on this brand new home you're buying. And assuming all that checks out, they'll approve your loan and issue you a commitment letter. Once we have that in hand, it's time for step number 10, your final walkthrough and your closing. Finally, you did it. You're going to walk through that property one last time before it's yours. You're going to make sure everything's in working order and that the seller fixed anything they said they were going to. Once everything checks out, you're off to the closing table where you're going to sign a million pieces of paperwork. There's also where you pay your closing fees and the rest of your deposit. For those of you who don't know what closing fees are, I'm going to include on the screen what they consist of. And in the end, you're going to be handed the keys to your brand new home and maybe a nice gift from your realtor. And for the most part, that's the whole process. Each deal is going to have its own caveats though, but as long as you did step number 1 correctly, you'll be in good hands throughout. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to be alerted anytime I post a new video. And as always, if you only take away one thing, remember this: if you're sick of your home, call the doctor.